evening. I'm Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla hits the ground running as he officially begins his new role. Among his top priorities, revisiting the multi-billion peso Pharmally scandal that cast a long shadow over the Duterte administration's pandemic response. What could a renewed probe mean for accountability, and will it finally lead to justice? Let's get on point with former Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chair and Philippine Red Cross Chairman Richard Gordon. Senator, good to have you on the show. Welcome. Good to see you again.
How are you? Haven't seen you in a long time, but you're a sight for sore eyes.
Thank you, sir. Let's talk about this first, the 7.4 earthquake that hit the waters of Davao Oriental. Any update from the Philippine Red Cross? Has your team at least made it to the area?
Oh, they were on the ball right away. We got messages from all our chapters in Davao Oriental Provincial Hospitals. 20 to 30 patients are outside of the hospital. We may have to send tents there because, as usual, people will be afraid to go inside their homes or to stay outside inside the hospital. We had reports in Cagayan de Oro that some buildings crumbled, not collapsed, but there was debris all over. And landslides occurred in Barangay Gumagan, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. And there were cracks on walls and minor damages in Rivera Hospital, San Francisco, Panabo City, Davao del Norte. Minor cracks on walls and broken glass at the Gaisano Grand Mall. They're always hit by earthquakes, Gaisano and other malls. And of course, a damaged wall in Dohali, Braulio, Davao del Norte. This area, Pinky, is always hit by earthquakes. Yan ang suki ng earthquake sa buong Pilipinas. Davao Oriental, Mati, all these places, no? So in PNU, Mindanao Science Technology Building, they had a damaged school. And Robinson's Place, Butuan, in Damage Hospital, 20-bed capacity, Provincial Hospital. These are early days. I'm sure there will be more as we come along. We're just getting the reports. Tapia Elementary School in Nabunturan was damaged. Barangay San Ignacio, Municipality of Manay was damaged. Davao Oriental Provincial Hospital, Manay was damaged. 20 patients were evacuated.
Right.
And, a lot of our people are busy on the ground. We're checking the other Davaos, the other places in Mindanao, including North Cotabato, including the other areas.
We barely... we just actually getting through this earthquake in Bogo. No, Senator, the 6.9 quake in Bogo, and then this one now hits Davao Oriental, even a stronger one at that. I was listening to some reports even earlier that with the damage that this powerful earthquake has caused, there have been so far 2 casualties. So ang lakas po nung lindol, and 2 so far dead. Just quickly, Senator, I hope you don't mind. I want to go, kasi to Bogo, we had a report that dapat nga magkakaroon ng tent city from the government. And we understand, of course, that the Philippine Red Cross is one of the first always, if not the first, to mobilize their team and send tents and all that. In Daan Bantayan, nakita po namin, Senator, yung ilan po nating kababayan nakatira sa ilalim ng makeshift, parang makeshift tents. Yung tolda, that's what it is.
No. We have 2,500 tents ready, and we have set up almost 190 tents already in Bogo. No, unfortunately, the people want to stay by the side of the road because ano nangyayari, lahat ng dumadaan doon nagbibigay sa kanila, nagpapalibos sila. In effect, and I'm sorry, I have to use those words because certainly maraming mga good-hearted people pag dumadaan doon nagbibigay. So traffic is very, very high there, and they don't want to go and leave their homes that have been shattered by the earthquake. So right now, we have 200 tents delivered and 263 tents about to be set up. we were hoping we could set up 1,000 tents in the first night, but there was nobody in there. We had to level the field, and now I can show you pictures of our water distribution system.
Yeah.
It's well delivered. Also, our showers, our toilets that are already there. We also have places where they can relax, not under the tents when it's hot. And also, we have food trucks that service the people over there. We're handling Medellin and Bogo. Now, Daan Bantayan, we would be ready to go there. We've been there before in Hayan. But I think the government wants to set up, human settlements wants to set up their own tents there. That's okay with
The
me.
tent
We're not
city, yeah. Yeah, I think they were planning to set up tent cities in Bogo, in Bantayan, and San Remigio because of the earthquake a couple of weeks ago. Now, again, balikan po natin to sa Davao Oriental. Mas malakas po ito. And you were saying, you gave us, you enumerated all these buildings that have been affected by this earthquake. What is Senator, where is the focus of attention right now in this particular earthquake of Davao Oriental?
Well, we are focusing on all the areas where there have been some damage. Now, to be sure, we have chapters in all those places, so we're not afraid of taking responsibility there. But for example, in hospitals, like I said, people don't want to go inside the hospital. We may be sending medical tents there with beds so that they can stay there.
Yeah.
We're not getting anything yet on houses that have been damaged. But certainly we know by experience that people are not going to stay in their houses tonight. Yeah. They're going to stay out in the field, and we will be starting to distribute sleeping kits, which means we're providing them with blankets, banig, and also mosquitero, no? This is the usual SOP that we undertake. We're still trying to collate the total damage, where the principal focus of our operations will be. But certainly, we're looking at the area of Davao Oriental, which is right next to the epicenter. Fortunately enough, it was in the water and did not cause tsunami. But in the meantime, the following things, we're looking at the exposure of population of 7,855,000. Davao Oriental will be focusing on that. Davao City, Davao del Norte, Davao del Sur, Davao de Oro. Like I said, these are areas like South Cotabato, Hinguog, Agusa del Norte. They're known to have a lot of earthquakes. And you can look at our map because we see all the earthquakes going on in the country. You may not feel them, but most of them are in that area of the Pacific, in the Davao area.
All right, Senator, we'll be taking a very short break. We'll continue our discussion with former Senator Richard Gordon. When we return, stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. Still with us, former Senator Richard Gordon. Senator, I want to talk to you about the recent events. Ombudsman Jesus Remulla now taking the post. What are your thoughts on him sitting as the new ombudsman?
Just one thing, I'll just say, I just got the word. We have 4 dead already in the area in Davao Oriental, and we have injured, 186 injured as being catered to by the PRC. And so let me go to the ombudsman question now. I think that Boeing is a step in the right direction. He is known to be strong, brave, and I just hope that he will go ahead and go post haste in this investigation, because hindi naman pinabayaan yan eh. We filed the case in the ombudsman. The ombudsman before was not too keen because I think he was appointed by President Duterte, but he went all the way up to Lao. Our recommendation, and if you look at my report, it's almost what I call a trial brief. All the evidence is there. It goes all the way. It goes all the way to President Duterte. Mm-hmm. The crime would never have happened without his participation. In other words, he was the one who ordered the money transferred, according to Secretary Duque. He was the one who said, no more bidding. Akong bahala. And we have quotations from him directly in his daily program. He was the one who ordered, according to Duque, publicly he ordered the transfer funds from DOH. So we have a testimony. And he even says, quote-unquote, ako nag-utos kay Duque, ako nagsabi sa kanya, I'm sure there is a law which should exempt you from bidding. But the more important thing is that he was the man who made strategic appointments to Lao and Leong, and who are all from the Davao Mafia and who were stationed under his favorite secretary, Bongo, who later denied that they were under him. But in fact, Lao was involved in that, well, before this happened, in that Navy ship that was being supplied by Korea. They were having problems, nakikialam sila na palitan yung combat management systems. And there was a note, and it was shown to me by Secretary Lorenzana. Go later on denied it, but President Duterte himself said, pakialaman mo yan, we have that on code. But really, all these people were involved, and like I said, just by the very face of it, you cannot give an undercapitalized corporation of 625,000, umabot sila ng over 11 billion, and we're not even finished because until transfer is about 47 billion.
Okay.
They violated the Government Procurement Act. They have no legal capacity. They have no technical capacity. They were just agents or go-betweens and financial capability. They had no financial capability. So they were just sucking off the money from land bank, and they were giving overpriced equipment to our country. In the middle of a disaster, maraming namamatay, sinamantala nila yan, and later on they were defended by no less than President Duterte. Michael Young was being defended by President Duterte. So the hand of Duterte is all over the place. His voice is all over the place. Pictures of him and Yang and Leong and Lao and all the others, we have that all. And all I think that the Ombudsman has to do is pick it up from where we left off in the report of the Blue Ribbon, and we can go to town and really lock these people up.
Isn't that the reason, Senator Gordon, why a number of your colleagues in the 18th Congress refused or did not rather sign that partial committee report? That's why it never made it to the plenary. Just going back, I think you had about 18 or so hearings in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee that you actually chaired, hindi ho ba? And then there was a partial report. And then part of that partial report, siguro just to give a look back, was that the recommendation of plunder and graft charges against certain individuals such as Duque, and then you also had the Pharmally executives, the Dargani.
Duterte was in the recommendation that he should be charged. And all the senators who refused to sign said, we don't want to sign it because Duterte is there. Some of them even said, natatakot kami, malakas siya sa Mindanao, matatalo pa kami sa Mindanao. And, I said, okay, you don't sign it. You can sign it with reservation. They didn't even want to sign that. But no matter, Pinky, because all the testimonies were under oath. No? So, any lawyer or the ombudsman can pick that up, put them on the seat, and question them on their testimony, and it will go on. It is not important that the Senate was not able to ratify it. Umabot kami sa plenary, but they didn't want to sign it. But I was able to do a speech there, and was able to recite what was there, and it's now on the record of the Senate.
What is the feeling, Senator Gordon, that, as mentioned a while ago, this was an exhaustive number of hearings, 18 or so, coming up with a partial report? And I'm assuming you submitted this, obviously, to the Ombudsman. Did you also submit this to the DOJ back then?
We gave copies to all of these people, in fact. But I submitted it to the Ombudsman together with Senator Ontiveros. And like I said, they went only as far as Lao, and they wouldn't go further because marami talagang tatamaan. Actually, to be fair to Secretary Duque, ayaw niya yan, pero napilitan siya. But nonetheless, kahit na napilitan siya, he will still be held liable. But really, the principal culprit is the guy who made it happen. It would never have happened without his imprimatur. Can you imagine? Here is Lao presenting himself as the guarantor. Una, hindi niya sinasabi. Later on, all his conference said he was the guarantor. That is why when we got the document that says we were supposed to, that Lin Wei Xiong, his partner, would get all the money being paid to them so that Yang would be paid. And guess what? If I go all the way, fast forward, when these people tried to escape the Blue Ribbon Committee, where did they hide? They went to Davao and they were going to escape. They chartered a plane, and we knew they were going to do that, so we let them go out of the Davao airport. And when they got out and they were cleared, obviously they were being supported there. We captured them and we brought them back to Manila. So why would they go to Davao?
The individuals that you mentioned here that took the plane, these were the Dargani, Mohit, and Twinkle. Silang dalawa po yan?
Yes, and their mother.
And the mom.
Yeah.
Now, Senator, now that Ombudsman Boying Remulla is saying that one of the things he will be doing, at least prioritizing, would be a number of issues such as even presenting or having the SAL-ends of officials be open to the public with certain restrictions, and of course looking into, ang sabi nga niya is that para bang bubuhayin ba niya yung Pharmally na issue. At sabi niya, hanggang saan aabutin tayo ng ebidensya, doon tayo tutungo. What are your expectations now that Ombudsman Boying Remulla will be opening this up again, reviewing it, and looking into this?
It doesn't have to open up. It's already a case, an active case in the Ombudsman. In fact, it's already in the Sandigan Bayan. Sinasabi nga, maingay raw masyado yan. But in reality, all he has to do is make the appearance in court that the Ombudsman will now either amend the complaint and include the principals like Duterte and Michael Yang and Lin Wei Xiong and all the others. What they did in the past was get the small fry. I don't have any doubt that knowing Boying that he will pull his punches against these people. I don't know, however, whether he will go all the way to Duterte because Duterte is already in The Hague, but that doesn't stop the trial from proceeding. And when he comes back, or if ever he comes back, the Sandigan Bayan can make a decision on the merits of the case on whoever is available here in the country.
Senator, or there, tataas ho ba kaya yan? Are there other individuals you were talking about that should be included in possible charges before the Sandigan Bayan, even senators for that matter? Meron ho ba?
If you look at my recommendation, it all goes all the way to the President, President Duterte, Secretary Duque, all the people in the PSDBM, and many, many others that we lined up. And I think that you can get all these guys. I think they should also call the former Secretary of the Budget, whom I think resigned because he didn't want to partake of this shenanigans. I think they should call Wendell Avisado because he was almost about to talk, if I remember correctly, but because President Duterte was still in power, he was kind of hesitant.
I see. All right. We're going to see what Ombudsman Boying Remulla will be doing from here on. I also wanted to get your thoughts about what was at least a number of hearings by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, you chairing that particular committee in the 18th Congress. How did you find the hearings under, well, first, Senator Rodante Marcoleta, and then eventually, subsequently rather, Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson?
Well, I thought Ping handled himself famously. He's a good investigator. And obviously, Mr. Marcoleta was trying to be the gadfly. But other things surfaced later on that could put Mr. Barcoleta in a situation where he would have to explain. For example, his wife was found out to be involved in the Stronghold Insurance Company. And to me, Pisho that resigned, it sent me a text, but it's all right. I mean, that's his conviction. But I think that Ping could have continued on with it. But of course, at that time, the majority was being besieged. I don't want to think of it that way because, as far as I'm concerned, if I was handling that, I would have handled it differently. I would have immediately initiated, investigation on some of the senators and some of the congressmen involved, so they would not be able to do anything except to be accused of retaliating when their names were included. No, but Ping wanted to make sure that the majority retained the control of the Senate, because without that, where are we going in the Senate? This is a very, very strange aggregation, a menagerie of people, and I think we should learn from this. I think, Pinky, you can analyze and break it down when you have brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers and sons, and later on brothers and sisters again, and pair of brothers again. It's very difficult to maintain a majority in the Senate now because any of these people can create trouble and create, the destruction of the majority. But that is not the point. We should not miss sight of the fact that this is one of the biggest, as you can see by the headlines today, there are about 400 ghost projects.
421, yeah.
421 ghost projects. I mean, the temerity of these people is beyond compare. We should all go to hell with them and shout at the devil and tell the devil that they have to have a special place in hell for these people.
But that's Senator, that's just the beginning. Kumbaga,
Right.
they say this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're talking about flood control projects. There are much more. In fact, Secretary Vince Dizon already stopped yung mga road reblocking projects because that appears to be also a source of corruption. The lights, the cat's eyes, the road barriers, etc. Marami pa pong kailangan tingnan dito.
And where did it start, Pinky? It started many years ago, those PDAF, and then it graduated into something else. Now, they really, even not the senators and the congressmen, but the Department of Public Works officials themselves are feasting on the money. They dare to come up with ghost projects and that would never be undertaken. And what I'm seeing is that there is a failure of the government for the last 3 or 4 regimes.
Administrations,
yeah. Ng lahat ng mga Ombudsman, ng Department of Justice, nakikita ng mga kinaukulan, na may kalokohan, even going up to President Marcos when he said, oh, ito walang project, going up to Vince Dizon saying, ito binayaran pero walang ginawa. Pero nakikita nyo, walang nangyari. It's just like in Pharmally, nakikita na, hindi dapat payagan, wala pa rin ginawa yung Ombudsman, hindi dapat payagan yung kumpanya, violate yung law. Nakikita na naglalabas ng pera, wala pa rin ginagawa yung Anti-Money Laundering Council. Nakikita na lahat yung violations, hindi gumagalaw because the government stopped and it was dependent on whoever is in power to find out whether they're going to go after corruption in this country.
Senator, are you hopeful that something will come out of this?
I am more than hopeful. I'm praying and storming heavens that finally we realize that we cannot exist as a government and as a people, letting our people suffer from the pillaging of our government officials and allowing these people with impunity to get away with it. Somebody has got to go to jail, and they have got to go to jail. Even now, if we go on continuous hearings in Pharmally, continuous hearings on against these government officials and DPWH, you can easily lock them up in jail in 2 months. I'll bet you we can do that right away. With the cooperation of the judiciary, without violating rights, you can get all the evidence, ask for continuous hearing, and you're going to get people in jail right away.
Let's see what happens with the ICI investigation. One very quick last question, sir. Who do you think is best to sit as chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee now that Senator Ping has resigned?
This is again, I'm going back to the problem. We elect people, and we should elect them on the basis of their capability. I would imagine Kiko Pangilinan, he's a lawyer, and he knows what he's doing. He can handle it. I had 4 committees while I was Blue Ribbon Committee. So I was able to do my job, filed all my bills, no? But I don't know why they would hesitate.
Okay.
Ang sinasabi nila palagi, when you become Blue Ribbon Committee, it's a curse. You're not going to be re-elected.
I know. I was about to tell you that meron pong joke o may sinasabi sila na ayaw daw nila mag-Senate Blue Ribbon Committee dahil lahat ng nagiging chairman ng Senate Blue Ribbon ay natatalo daw in the succeeding election. Well, anyway, it came from you.
The joke is not
Something
on us,
I
but the
heard too.
people.
All right.
The joke is not the people, diba?
Yeah. Philippine Red Cross
now.
Chairman and former Senator Richard Gordon, sir, we've run out of time, but thank you so much. I'll speak to you again.
Anytime, all the
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
That's On Point. Join us again on Monday, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.